What's up, everybody? We're the Talking Hats here. I'm Dale, that's Harish. We're going to get into some NFL talk here. We're going to lead things off with Tom Brady's TV deal, which he has signed for his post-retirement work. I actually brought up on a previous show that I didn't think he would do anything post-retirement. I said I thought he'd go ahead and just live his glamorous life with his supermodel wife and spend his money and enjoy his time with his kids. Couldn't have been more wrong. He has signed on as the face of Fox Sports NFL. He's going to be their lead broadcast guy, their lead NFL guy. He signed a 10-year, $375 million deal.
Wait, what?
I'm guessing you hadn't heard about that then.
No.
Before we started the segment, and I thought you heard about this, but
no.
Yeah. And surprisingly enough, it was big news, but it wasn't like all over the papers type news. So I'm not surprised that you didn't see it. And so with that deal, he's going to make more money than he made in his entire NFL career. So that's crazy. And that leads me into what I want to get into here and with this whole thing. First, I want to get your thoughts on that deal before I switch gears on what I want to really get into with the whole thing.
I mean, only Tom Brady can kind of command that kind of salary. Like 375. I mean, he's getting 37.5 million per year. After taxes, let's say you can take 50% off the top, you're still making a chunk of change after taxes.
And because he took those discounts to help build rosters throughout his career, he never made that much in any season. And the total is more than he made in his entire career playing.
Yes. And it's a great sign because I hated Tom Brady when you play against him, but he is such a nice guy. He really is down to earth. So he is deserving.
He seems like he could be a little prickly. I don't know.
He could be.
He seems like kind of lighthearted and jokes around here and there, but I could see him being like really nonsense at the end of it. I can see that.
I can see that too, but it's almost like all of his hard work that he has put through through his entire career. Yeah. This is his fruits of his labor in the sense that
I'm not saying he hasn't earned the right to be that.
Right.
First of all, he worked hard to get to that level. It's not like he's just rich. I'm a jerk because I'm rich. This is a dude who put in the effort to get to where he is. And if he's a jerk at the end of that, cheers. He earned it.
Cheers. Yep. He can do whatever he wants, man. I'm happy because Fox Sports, this is not like on Fox NFL. This is like their own channel, if I remember right.
Fox NFL.
Fox NFL. Oh, okay. With like Troy Aikman and all them?
Not anymore. Them dudes have moved on. Him and Joe Buck are now.
Wait, what?
I think they are now Amazon.
Oh,
maybe that's
right.
Al Michaels. Maybe they went to ESPN. I think they may have gone to Monday Night Football, and Al Michaels may have gone to Amazon. I think that's it. There's so much movement; it's hard to keep track of all of it. I will keep at the Buck and Aikman are at Monday Night Football until somebody fact checks me. But I'm going to stick with that.
But if you look at it, I mean. 375. I mean, dang, Fox rolling that kind of dough.
Apparently.
So hey, Tom, you still owe us $10. I know you can pay us.
I feel like I'm your long lost cousin or adopted son or something. Just But like I said, that's leading me into these guys getting these massive TV deals. Like even Tony Romo came out of the gates was a $17 million a year deal. When you got a guy like Jim Nantz and everything he does. His salary was only $6 for everything. But you got Romo getting 17 for just the NFL broadcast, one game a week. I mean, so these players getting these kind of deals. Let me ask you something. Do you watch football games and care who's leading the broadcast?
I kind of do.
Why?
Because
what do you look for in it?
So I look for more of the analysis portion of it, right? I mean, like because when John Madden and Pat Summerall were doing the games, that's what kind of got me into football even more is because I learned everything from John Madden. Like, I mean, I literally learned everything from John Madden when he was commentating and little tidbits. And then I started reading on my own. But if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been this knowledgeable as I am today. And I think
I'm glad I asked that. Then that's what I was looking for. Is that kind of insight. Yeah, so keep going. That's what I wanted.
And that's why, like when Matt Millen, because Matt Millen was supposed to be the next John Madden, and unfortunately, he kind of took the route of a GM, which he was horrible at. But if he would have just stuck in broadcasting, he would have been amazing. And that's the kind of individuals I want to see is a good. It's like a 1-2 punch. You have a good commentating that they don't mess up the names. They know who's playing. They know what that is, and they want to pull viewership into it, and then you have like an individual is like, oh, this is why they're doing it, this is if you do this blocking, that's a lost art, and only very, very few tandems have that in the NFL broadcasting right now. And I think if Tom Brady is going to be like the John Madden of describing, and he needs a pair that can kind of broadcast the game, and he can come in and play it off, because without that, you just like, and it gets frustrating too, because you see some broadcasters be one-sided in a game, and you're like, dude, my team is playing. You're not helping my blood pressure. You're not helping. And that's what's frustrating about it.
You can't see Tom Brady being one-sided towards either the Patriots or the Bucks.
I don't think so. I mean, because the thing is, like, he may be, but he won't show it. You know what I'm saying? He won't show it when he's actually doing the broadcast.
See, a guy like Tom Brady, I'm going to give him maybe more credit here than he.
You're freezing up a little bit.
I'm good on my end.
Oh, you're good on your end? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's start. 3, 2, 1, restart.
Yeah. A guy like Tom Brady, I'm going to give him maybe more credit than he deserves here. That I think he's a guy who could step in and be either a lead analyst or the color guy, like Romo is. I think he could be like an Al Michaels, just leading the broadcast and be so polished there. Now, he hasn't shown anything to prove that. And even in some of his interviews, he's a little more, I'm not even going to say goofy, not goofy, but a little more like maybe lighthearted than a lead analyst could be. But I think that if he were with his contract, I don't know what they're going to have him doing, but I think he's a guy who could do either one. And I think he'll be very good at it right out of the gate. Unlike, Drew Brees was expected to step in and be good at it, failed. Jason Witten stepped in and failed. I don't think Tom Brady will have those struggles. He's been in the limelight so long. He's been doing so much TV and interviews and documentaries here even lately that I think he'll step in and have no issue stepping right into it. But that, like I said about guys getting these kind of contracts, and you said it actually, you like it and you look forward to it. I don't know how I don't think I do love it that guys like Romo get a lot of credit for what they do as far as saying, guesstimating the next play and all that, predicting what the next play is going to be, because I've seen that. I've seen my brother do it when we watch games. I've seen this formation. We used to run this play. I've seen that stuff. So it doesn't really impress me. I guess the average fan, it does. And I have to switch how I look at it from a guy who's been on, who's had that other perspective too. Guys who weren't exposed to it, they love hearing that stuff. And so shifting my perspective that way, I guess when you like hearing your perspective on it, that opened my eyes a lot. I hadn't looked at it that way, and I'm glad. That's why I said I'm glad you put that out there for me, because that does shift how I think about it. And knowing that you watch games and you hear that, and you hear stuff that you haven't heard or seen, like that, for that, knowing the fans look at it that way, that makes those guys worth it. That makes a Romo more than worth it. And even Mark Sanchez, he doesn't get any credit, but he was doing that same stuff that Romo was doing when he was doing a couple of Commanders games this past season. He's very good at it, and I hope he starts getting some of the credit he deserves. So hearing what you said, I get it now. I understand. And I see what you put there. We're good. We're good. Okay. The recording is good. But yeah, that's all I've got on our Brady and that part of it. We can shift gears into the Commanders mini camp here.
Definitely. But just before you kind of switch, I wanted to get back onto Romo. I hate Romo's commentating. I don't like when you pre-predict stuff. That's not what I'm looking for. I don't care about like what the formation. I mean, I care about the formation, but I don't know. It's the way you are presenting it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have a knack, and he doesn't have. He's like, oh, they're going to run to the left. Okay, but why are they running to the left? And what kind of blocking? And when you compare old John Madden kind of like commenting, he's like, they're doing this because to get this free guy open. If you look at that guy's over, and he pancakes him. So there's an art to it. Romo is just saying what he used to do when he used to be a quarterback. We don't care about all that pre-prediction stuff. I sure don't, because it's annoying. But
and I hate to hate on a broadcaster. He's at a level where I would like to be someday. I mean, I want to be making $17 million a year to do that stuff. I'm not. This is not hating. This is just my opinion. I don't think he's as good as everybody is making him out to be. I certainly don't watch games for him at all. I don't watch games for any broadcaster. If football is on, I'm watching. I can watch it with the sound off. I don't need to hear their commentary. That's just me though. So I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad I got your perspective. Some guys do like to hear some good analysis, and that that's good to know, and I can appreciate that.
So let's really get back to the second kind of topic is the Commanders rookie mini camp.
Mhm.
And I would say this, there's a lot of rumblings going on that they picked some studs. They really did pick some studs, and they came out and they kind of surprised a lot of people in the building. So and Jahan Dotson is just as advertised as they say. He's quick, he's fast, hands of
I hear he
anything.
looks
So
blazing fast.
yeah. And as they always say, it's not about what you do in the 40, it's what you can do on the field. That's what I always say. And we will see when the season starts, because Percy Butler is going to make some noise. I'm going to call it right now. Defensively, Percy Butler is going to make some noise on special teams, and he's going to make some noise on the defense. And they're going to roll right him. And Chase Young, Montez Sweat, 10 and 10 sacks. They're going to be the dime apiece. And that's my bold prediction.
If they both only get 10 sacks, that's a big failure. And
why? It's 20 sacks a year. It's 20 sacks for the year, right? Or
that's not what they're looking at. Last season, both of them were saying that they were going to come in and break the sack record for tandem, and the team was going to break it like team sacks. So they have much higher expectations than that, and that's why I'm saying 10 sacks a piece from them. That's a big letdown. And if they each only get 10, yeah, it's an improvement on last season, but that's not what this defense. The defense needs more than that out of them. Out of them two guys, they need more.
Okay. I'm just saying that 10 because I like to keep the bar low, because at the end of the day,
that's the best thing to do with them.
Well, I mean, because Chase Young is coming off of a knee injury. We have no idea how much they say he has his burst back, but burst back in non-contact is different than contact.
Burst back. I haven't seen any burst. I don't. So back. I mean, that'd be a first for me.
Yeah. So I'm excited actually this year. I'm actually excited, but there was an interesting take about D'Angelo Hall kind of ripping Ron Rivera and the staff, saying, you guys can check me if I'm wrong, but the way I read it was, he was like, if you're one quarterback away, then why did you choose Carson Wentz? Or something along those lines.
That's not a hot take. I've been saying that. I'm still saying they've got a hole at quarterback. I say that about teams with established quarterbacks. I say that about the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are a quarterback away. I think the Browns are a quarterback away still. Some people love Deshaun Watson. I do not. And I think he has either had or has a meeting with the NFL that's going to determine his fate for this upcoming season. So it might end up being a good thing that they still have Baker on the roster. He might get suspended. So we'll see.
Well, I thought Baker was done, right? Do they still have him? I thought he kind of, okay. Oh, wow. All right. Then so maybe they knew what they were doing, I guess.
They absolutely do not. They're a joke of an organization, just like the Commanders. They don't know what they're doing. If things work out and they start Baker, that was a mistake. They've been trying to move him, but nobody wants him. And I don't blame everybody else. I wouldn't want him either.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, the way he spoke about the fans, why would you want somebody to come into your city and disrespect people that
you can talk trash about the fans all you want if you can play.
That's true. Yeah. But he hasn't played, so you can't really. I mean, it's just sad. I mean, I have a soft spot for Baker Mayfield. I think he can do well. It's just his time is running out. Hey, maybe the AFL might happen, or that new
XFL is coming.
Oh yeah,
XFL is playing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he can go to the XFL.
I unfortunately for him think he may end up there at some point.
Some point in his career, yeah.
Not anytime soon, but at some point. But I've heard that Howell is looking good in rookie mini camp. And then there was another guy, Cole something, who's looking good. Cole
the tight end?
Crap. Yeah.
Yeah, that 6 foot like
his name?
behemoth Cole
Turner. I hear he's looking good too. So who knows? You got to take mini camps with a grain of salt. They're rookies playing up against rookies. I mean, none of these guys have ever seen any NFL action, but it's good that Howell is not going out there and crapping the bed. That gives you some promise going into the season if he needs to see the field at any point. Hopefully he would need to, because hopefully that means they move Heineke at that point. It's looking more and more like that's probably not going to happen. But like I said, it'll probably take an injury to somebody at some point for that to happen, and that always happens. So it'll happen at some point.
See, remember we were talking about last show if we're going to see a Howell sighting, and I stated that would only happen if Carson Wentz poo-poos the bed. I think we will see one in the middle of the season if he starts playing like the old Carson Wentz.
See
And
that I don't see. I
you don't
think
see
no
that at
matter
all.
how bad he plays,
They're going to stick with
I
him.
don't think he'll ever bench him. I think
You'll ever,
the only way Howell sees the field is injury.
injury. Okay.
With
I mean, yeah,
Wentz's
I'm just.
contract, they're going to
Mm.
ride him into the ground.
I mean, you have to at this point. You put all your chips in. So, I mean, I'm just afraid that like with all this stuff, is Carson Wentz head in the right place? I mean, that's the thing I'm kind of more worried about than anything else is that yes, he has the talent, yes, he has everything, but is this noise that he's coming to like around here going to get too much for him over the season? And is he going to become like, can he block that out? And it looks like he can, but time will tell when you put on the pads and you go into the gridiron. So it's going to be it's going to be. I'm excited, but I'm also cautious. I'll put it that way.
I'm hoping he has matured, but I'm sticking by that. I don't see any change from him. I don't see any improvement from him. I expect him to be one and done with the Commanders. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I want him to prove me wrong, but I haven't seen anything to show that he is a changed man and more mature. I want to be wrong about this though. I'm hoping I am.
Yeah. What do you think about Denver? Their own.
Yeah, I was just about to jump into that. I don't know anything about the rookie mini camps because when a team doesn't have a first round pick, you don't really pay attention to what's going on with that stuff. They didn't need a quarterback or anything like that, so it's not like I can be excited about all this rookie QB is looking good. They didn't need any receivers. So I can't say that receiver looks fast or anything like that. They didn't really have any needs. So I don't know what's really going on with the rookie camp. What I do know is that Russ has the guys out working like every day. And they're posting pictures like everyday videos and all that stuff. So he's working with the receivers, building that rapport and that off-season chemistry right now. They're putting in the work. So if you put in the work, the results will follow. This team, they're not just, oh, we got Russell Wilson, so hey, we're good. We're going to go out there and run away with it. They're grinding. You got to do that stuff to come out and hit the ground running. They're going to. I'm actually kind of surprised to see this. I expect it, and I say you can't do it. You can't just be like, we got Russ and we're going to be good. I expected that, but that's not what they're doing. They got Russ, and these guys, they're working like they haven't earned any money. They're working like guys who are trying to get the deals, and they all have them. I'm very impressed by it. I'm impressed by the coaching staff and how they're handling the offseason. And again, shout out to my guy Ola with the Broncos defense there. The defense is putting in work too. Ola's posting pictures on social media of the work they're putting in every day. They're hungry. The team is hungry. They're showing it. The proof will be in the pudding, but they're putting in the work right here now with the ingredients of hard work. So I expect them to be there at the end where I predicted.
And that's what I hate to use the term and the word championship teams do. That's what
you're right.
I mean, that's the kind of mind frame you need to have. And that's why it frustrates us Commanders fans, especially me, is you see the talent, and you see the work, but you have to go that extra step. I
don't know if Wentz is out working with the guys, but have you heard anything about that?
I heard like sprinklings, but I really haven't. And that's the thing though, right? That's the kind of things that we need to see to say, okay, we kind of have comfort into it. But when we don't see that, we only can see what's at face value. And that's the frustration that we have. Actually, I'll say I have.
Yeah, and I don't even need to see like daily videos like the Broncos are doing. Just say, we're all going to meet up somewhere and work out and then do it in private. But I haven't heard anything about that. I haven't even heard that he's reached out to guys or anything. But that goes back to, and maybe I'm wrong about it. I put it out there. I could be completely wrong, but that goes with the stuff you've heard about him not being a good leader. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, time will tell.
Yeah. So you got any more NFL stuff, or can we go and wrap this one up and shift?
We can wrap this one up and shift gears into a thing.
All righty. Like, subscribe, follow, support. We're the Talking Hats, and we'll be right back.